10 harsh money truths no one tells you until it's too late. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if the biggest financial mistake of your life is something you're doing right now? And you won't even realize it until 10 years later? By then, it's too late. No rewind. No second chance. Today's video is not motivational. It's not feel good. It's a warning. Most people don't lose money because they're lazy. They lose it because they were misled by society, by family advice, by schools that taught algebra, but not survival. These are the money truths no one tells you early enough. Because if they did, you'd start asking dangerous questions. Let's start with the first one. Truth 1. Your salary will never make you rich. This is probably the most uncomfortable truth in this entire video. Because from childhood, we were taught one formula. Study hard, get a good job. Earn well. Leave peacefully. But no one ever stopped to explain what a salary actually is. A salary is not freedom. It's a transaction. You trade your time, energy, and mental space for money that stops the moment you stop. Even worse, the better you perform, the more dependent your life becomes on that income. Think about it. The promotion doesn't reduce stress, it increases lifestyle. The raise doesn't create safety, it creates bigger commitments. And slowly, your job becomes too important to lose, which means you're no longer free to question it. This is why so many talented people feel trapped. Not because they hate their work, but because their entire life is built on one fragile source. The real danger isn't earning less. The danger is having no leverage. Wealth doesn't come from how much you earn per month. It comes from how many months you can survive without earning. And most people don't calculate that until fear forces them to. Truth 2. Inflation is quietly stealing from you every day. Inflation is not dramatic. There's no breaking news alert saying, your money is now worth less. It happens silently. One day you realize your groceries cost more. Your rent feels heavier. Healthcare expenses suddenly look scary. But your savings? They stayed exactly where they were. Here's what makes inflation so dangerous. It punishes people who follow the rules, people who save responsibly, people who avoid risk, people who trust that money in the bank is safe. But safe from what? Your money might be safe from theft, but it's not safe from time. Every year inflation reduces your purchasing power, not by choice, by default. So if your money isn't growing faster than inflation, you're moving backward even while doing everything right. This is why future shock feels so sudden. People don't feel poor gradually. They feel shocked all at once. And by then, the gap is too large to close easily. Truth 3. Saving money alone is financial suicide. We were raised to believe saving equals security. Save first. Spend less. Avoid risk. But here's the twist. Saving without investing is like storing food that slowly expires. Your grandparents saved money in a world where costs were stable, pensions existed, healthcare was affordable. That world is gone. Today, saving is not enough. You must make money grow faster than life gets expensive. And the longer you delay learning this, the harder the catch-up becomes. Truth 4. Debt is not the enemy. Ignorance is. Most people think debt is bad, but that belief is incomplete and dangerous. Debt is a tool, and like any tool, it depends on who's using it and why. The problem is not debt. The problem is using debt to impress instead of build. Loans for cars that lose value the moment you drive them. Credit cards funding a lifestyle your income hasn't earned yet. EMIs that lock your future earnings into yesterday's decisions. That kind of debt doesn't just cost money, it steals flexibility. Now here's the part people don't talk about. The wealthy also use debt, but their debt creates cash flow, businesses, assets, systems that pay back more than they cost. Same word, debt. Completely different outcome. One creates pressure, the other creates leverage. Most people were never taught this distinction, so they grow up fearing all debt, or worse, drowning in the wrong kind. Financial maturity is not avoiding debt. It's understanding which debt makes you weaker and which makes you stronger. That knowledge alone changes trajectories. Truth 5. Your biggest financial risk is comfort. Comfort is seductive. A steady paycheck, predictable routine, just enough money to not complain. But comfort kills urgency. You stop learning, stop experimenting, stop building skills that matter. And one day, disruption arrives. Company restructures. AI replaces roles. Industries disappear. And suddenly, comfort becomes panic. Security doesn't come from stability. It comes from adaptability. Truth number 6. No one is coming to save you. This is the harshest one. Your employer won't. The government can't. Your degree doesn't guarantee anything. Pensions are shrinking. Healthcare costs are exploding. Retirement ages keep moving forward. The system assumes you will figure it out. But no one tells you that directly. So people wake up at 45, realizing they outsourced responsibility for their future. And now the bill has arrived. Truth 7. Time is more valuable than money, but only if you use it. Everyone says this. Few understand it. Time doesn't make you rich. What you do with time does. Scroll for 5 years, nothing changes. Learn a high-income skill for 5 years, everything changes. The tragedy? Young people trade time for money. Older people trade money to buy time back. But by then, the energy is gone. Time is only valuable when paired with intentional action. Truth 8. Most financial advice is designed for average lives. Buy a house early. Diversify slowly. Retire at 60. Sounds responsible. But average advice creates average outcomes. And average outcomes in today's world are becoming increasingly fragile. What worked for the previous generation may quietly fail the next one. Blindly following advice without questioning context is how people stay stuck for decades. Truth 9. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer of wealth. Here's the dangerous part about lifestyle inflation. It doesn't feel irresponsible. It feels deserved. You work harder. You earn more. So naturally, you upgrade your life. A better phone because you need it. A bigger car because family comfort. A nicer apartment because you've grown. Nothing looks wrong on the surface, but quietly, your freedom starts shrinking. Every upgrade adds a fixed cost to your life. EMIs, maintenance, subscriptions, expectations. And soon, your income doesn't feel high anymore. It feels tight. This is how people making excellent money still live paycheck to paycheck. Not because they're careless, but because their expenses learned how to chase their income. And here's what no one warns you about. Once your lifestyle goes up, it almost never comes down. Your ego adjusts faster than your bank balance. Your social circle adjusts even faster. You stop asking, "Can I afford this?" You start asking, "Will I look like I'm falling behind if I don't?" That question ruins more financial futures than bad investments ever could. Wealth isn't built by dramatic sacrifices. It's built by invisible restraint. The kind no one applauds. The kind that doesn't show on Instagram. But one day, when others feel trapped by their own success, you feel light.
That's real wealth. Truth 10. Financial freedom is boring, and that's why most people never reach it. Let me tell you something that sounds disappointing, but is incredibly liberating. Financial freedom is boring. No adrenaline, no luxury drama, no constant upgrades, just quiet control. And that's exactly why most people fail to reach it. We've been trained to chase excitement, fast money, quick wins, hustle stories that end in supercars. But real financial freedom looks nothing like that. It looks like saying no without panic, taking breaks without guilt, sleeping well because your future isn't fragile. It's built on systems, not motivation. Automatic investments, simple businesses, skills that compound quietly. No applause, no viral moments, just progress. And here's the irony. People reject boring discipline, then spend decades stuck in chaotic stress. They chase excitement and money, and end up paying for it with anxiety. Freedom is choosing boredom today to avoid desperation tomorrow. It's choosing consistency over intensity, direction over speed. And once you understand this, you stop asking, how do I get rich fast? You start asking, how do I build a life that doesn't collapse under pressure? That's the question that changes everything. Trust me, most people watching this video will nod, feel inspired, and change nothing. Not because they're lazy, but because change threatens identity. But if even one of these truths made you uncomfortable, that's a signal. You're early, not late. And that's powerful. If this video made you think, don't let it end here. Subscribe if you want honest conversations about money, freedom, and building a future on your terms. Comment which truth hit you the hardest. I read everyone. Share this with someone you care about before it's too late for them. Because the cost of ignorance is always higher than the cost of learning. See you in the next video.